Welcome to Manifesting Through Motherhood. I'm your host, Lyndsay Williams, a self-development mentor, entrepreneur and author, dedicated to helping busy mums like you manifest success, balance and create passive income on your terms. With years of experience in mindset, manifestation, fitness, parenting and business growth, I share simple yet powerful strategies to help you transform your life without the overwhelm. If you're ready to up-level your mindset, build a thriving business and create the life you truly deserve, you're in the right place. You can also find all my books on Amazon, packed with tools to help you manifest and grow. So don't forget to follow the podcast to be updated on all new episodes. And let's get going. Burnout doesn't happen because you're weak or incapable. It happens because you've been strong for too long without a break. You've carried the weight of everyone else's needs while ignoring your own. Rest isn't lazy, it's necessary. You're allowed to slow down, breathe and pour back into yourself. That's where your true power lies. So today we're going to be talking about burnout. This might have resonated with you. No one avoids burnout. We are all susceptible to burnout, male and female. Whoever we are, it can just creep on top of us. And that can be brought on by so many different factors. For me, I think the last couple of weeks it was half term and my fibromyalgia flared up, so I went on holiday with neck pain. I'd rejoined the gym, I'd gone back on the weights and I triggered something in my neck, and I do need to see a chiropractor, but I'm so scared of it triggering worse that I can't work in my salon. So I am going to sort myself out when I've lost that little bit more weight, and I'm going to get myself realigned back to a really good, because my posture, because I've been carrying a bit more weight and I'm now in my 4th stone category of loss. My body's changing, my posture's changing, so my neck's going to change, everything changes, my muscles, and so I need to see somebody. I'm going to book some sessions in, but obviously I'm going to have to book some time off around that because I'm going to probably spend a few days in bed. So going back to going on holiday and you're ready for a break, and every time a break for me happens, I always feel something flares up in my pain. It's like my body knows you're about to go on holiday, you're about to have a rest, so let's give you the pain. And I've been so amazing. My widespread pain's been fine, with my fibro and my legs and my arms because I've lost weight, but my neck, it's the neck, whatever's going on in my neck it started to pulse. So I've been having up days and down days. So that's when, that can really trigger a bit of burnout. And I think it's because you become less intolerant to your surroundings and what's going on. And because my son's got additional needs and he's been head pecking me, he's been diving on me, and, he wants lots of cuddles and kisses, and which is fine. And I just carry on. And my mum said, I don't know how you do it, because me and mum went out for the day, and I was we were both mentally exhausted. I think that's what it was, more mentally exhausted by the end of it, and which is fine. It is what it is. And I put strategies in for him, but I could just feel myself. My husband said, you've been a bit snappy the last couple of weeks, and he's so lovely with me, and he never snaps at me. I said, well, 1, I've been hormonal, and 2, I'm in pain, and I'm just trying to get through work and just trying to get things done, and it makes me feel overwhelmed inside, where that point where you're you could just have a little cry, and there's a bit of a few moments I'm I need a cry, and then I started thinking about Nan. So you start thinking about things because you get in this vulnerable state, and you just think, oh no. So then obviously I get back into this manifesting. I've changed my crystals, and so I'm having 2 crystals down my bra at the minute, just to make sure that I'm vibrating at a high frequency. Just because I'm in pain, I'm not going to put it all over the internet. I'm not going to be negative all over the place, because if I do, I start to manifest that and it will get worse. So this is the thing about manifesting. When you start putting it out there to the universe, you start talking about it more, you can't see pain. You can't see when somebody's struggling or feeling a type of way. It just creeps up on you. And when you're a mum, and you've just got to carry on regardless. And how I got through a couple of days working in the salon, I was really struggling. I was trying to drink loads of water. I didn't want to eat a lot because I just thought I don't want to be sick, because I was taking medication. And every time I was in between clients, I kept putting my eye mask on, and I said to my husband, TV's loud. He's like, it's not even loud. So I just kept trying to do some mindfulness, trying to relax, do some meditation, and just sitting in my office and just giving myself a minute. And honestly, 20 minutes can, even though you're not really napping, you can really feel the benefits just from doing some active, or just some mindful meditation. For me, it's a really good restart button, I always think, and you don't need permission to have a bit of time for yourself. And, things you might have your whole week. I had a whole week of the gym, going to the gym at 6 every morning. I had to just knock that. The only thing that I could get rid of was the gym. And my friend was struggling with sciatica. So I was like, do you know what? Let's just let the kids go back a week. We'll get back on it next week. There's no way I could have jeopardised my neck by going to the gym and doing the things that I do, because I wouldn't have been able to work. I work for myself. I'm busy. I've got clients, and I'll fall behind with work, and I don't want to let people down. And the great thing for working for myself is I can do things on my own terms. And if I don't feel 100%, I do put on a brave face. But I say to clients, I'm a bit of pain today. Then obviously I don't want them to feel guilty, because I need to move. I need to keep mobile. And this is just probably a 3-week flare up, and hopefully things will go back down. And before I know it, I'm back to my high vibe self, still in a high vibe frequency. And I think once you're in that state and you can kind of coast in that state of high frequency, this is why manifesting helps so much, because I think, I'm more mindful, what am I doing to really amplify my manifesting process? So last night, my husband went up to bed. I said, I won't be a minute, I'm just going to do my diary. So I did my gratitude, I did my manifesting, what I would normally do this morning, I did it last night. What are my intentions for today? What am I thinking about? What am I manifesting? And it's always good health and abundance, and it's always a lot of the same things. And you might just want to manifest a really good positive day with no pain, no stress, no aggro. Because you might be juggling more than one child, you might have a couple of children. Most people have more than one child. So hats off to people that have got that, who are juggling and doing everything they need to do. You wouldn't be human if you didn't reach some type of burnout. Sometimes you can just reach burnout for a day. For me, I can feel a bit burnt out in my head. I won't say I'm doing too much, because I've had some time off. I've had time off for Easter. It's just everything's come at once, and that's that feeling of I'm chasing my tail today. I don't know what's going on. Why am I feeling like this? I'm feeling stressed. I want to shout, and you don't want to feel like that, and you don't want to be that type of a parent. So you just want to make sure that you're looking after yourself. Maybe check in. When did you last have some treatments for yourself? Go for a spa day? Did you have a day off? Did you just have a day on the settee? When did you last have a Netflix day? Why do we feel guilty? I feel guilty. And I make my husband feel guilty for watching TV, because he works weekends, and he's like, he said, I'm working, I'm doing this, that and the other, but because I you won't really catch me on the settee. I'd either be doing a podcast, doing some coaching, or in the salon, going shopping, cleaning the car. But this is why I go burnout, because I'm constantly doing everything, creating content, recording content. It's just constant all the time. My brain is a lot like my son's. It goes 10 to the dozen. Well, that's fine. You accept that, and you find a plan. Everybody has a different plan, and we all work differently than our partners. If you've got a partner at home, we're all different. Dynamics are different within the household, but it's just finding a plan to come up with that, going forwards. So let's talk about the main topic, about burnout. It is real and it is common, especially for mums, because you're constantly giving emotionally, physically, and mentally, because you might be a carer, you might be looking after parents, siblings. Everybody's got something going on. You're not just being a parent, you're doing other things. You might have problems going on at work, you might have colleagues have issues going on. We've got so much to think about, and we're just constantly giving. But this is when we need to start saying no. And you just need to refill, I'd say, your own cup when you start to feel that breaking point just starting to creep in. You do get signs of that feeling a bit fed up, and you can have down days. When I start to feel a bit less motivated, or a little bit I don't want to get up this morning, I just want to have another hour in bed. Still do that, but make sure that that's not following out through the week. Just give yourself some time. You can pull yourself out of this so quicker than anything. And I do. I think, right, what am I going to do? So what I do, I think about all the positive things. So what am I actually grateful for? What am I positive for? What have I got coming up? Oh yeah, I've got this coming up. That's my birthday next week. I'm like, yes. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to go out for a meal. I'm going to, it's just nice. It always feels nice around your birthday. You've got little celebrations, and I've got an event next week. So it's nice. I've got so much to be grateful for. And then I think, well, why am I feeling overwhelmed? Because life's good. So then it kind of like spins you out of this cycle. So that's a really good thing, just to start looking at the positives and thinking how you can build on those foundations. And being burnt out doesn't mean that you're weak. It means you're strong, but you need to have breaks. You might be at home with your children all day. You might be, there's just so many different things that you're going to, everybody is just so different. And like I said earlier, when I introduced the podcast, the signs of burnout will be feeling numb or snappy, resented over like small things. People might be asking, do you want to do this? Or your partner said, do you want to do that? And you're like, snapping, no, I don't. I've got to do this. And I get in a bit of a whirlwind of, have you done this? Have you done that? And my husband's like, you drive me crazy. But he doesn't say anything back, bless him. He don't listen to this podcast. I don't like me waffling on all the time, but he'd be nodding his head right now going, yes, yes, yes. And losing motivation for things that you used to love. Mine was like, I've gone back to the gym, and I've still been doing bits of working out here. Been doing the TheraBands, booty bands and core, so I'm not aggravating my neck, so I'm still elevating my endorphins. I'm keeping all that going, which is really good. I'm losing the weight. I need to tone up. I'm doing that in the background. That's just going on daily repeat. And another sign is feeling exhausted, even after being asleep, because your children might not sleep. My son's getting hard work at the minute. He's like talking. I'm like, bed, and he's asking me questions, and I'm like, sleep, please sleep. And I'm like, come on, I'm going to speak to your teacher tomorrow. And I'm like, trying all the things that you do, you threaten them with. I'm like, come on, that's it tomorrow, bed early tomorrow. He's like, no. But children make you exhausted. The prime factor of exhaustion and burnout is your children, because you might have so much going on. You might have, like clubs, there might be problems at school, might be just issues, not sleeping, ADHD, you might be a carer. There's so many different things. You might just have a child that's just constantly non-stop or arguing in the household. But you're allowed to pause and you're allowed to restart. So you've got to take the pressure off and allow yourself to bounce back, because we don't need the hustle culture. So we need to focus on micro shifts. So make sure you're resting whenever you can. Even if it's every half an hour, just sit back, just close your eyes. And I've got in my link tree, I've got a blood pressure lowering meditation. They're like 5 minutes. You just put them on repeat, and there's like 3 different ones in there. So just honestly, just listen to that for 5 minutes. It just stops your heart rate, brings it down, brings everything back to center, and it relaxes you. And that's what we need to do. And this comes with movement and journaling. So maybe go for a little walk. Last week I actually did a bit of mobile hairdressing. I don't do mobile hairdressing anymore because it's not really good for me and my pain and doing things and carting my son around everywhere. But obviously my client, I've got different issues and some health issues. I don't mind the regular clients. I will go out my way totally for people because they are very loyal clients. And I loved it. I really enjoyed it. And I just thought, it was raining and then it was sunny. He's like, you're just driving, you can smell that fresh air. And I said to my husband, I really enjoyed doing mobile. I really enjoyed it. It was just nice. I was in someone else's household. It was the vibration of the house with children there. It just felt good. I felt elevated. And I drove home and I'd like not had anything to eat. And obviously been doing really well with my weight loss. And my husband had said, you just have your tea. And I just wasn't feeling it. And I thought, you know what? I fancy a McChicken sandwich. So I drove through the McDonald's, didn't get the chips. I just got a McChicken sandwich. I had my water. And I just ate that in the car. I just went rogue and ate that. And my sugar levels went up. I felt amazing. I was like, you've had a McDonald's? And I was like, yeah. I've had one in peace in the car. And I ate it and hid the evidence from my son. But it's good. It's my guilty pleasure. I felt good. I had a little bit of comfort from food. I drove home and I felt great. So I was finding pockets of joy everywhere. And I think that's what you need to do, is find those pockets of joy. Because if you don't, then you just feel like, oh, what's the point of everything? And, we need to let our identity evolve. And you're not like failing, you're just becoming, you're upgrading all the time. So we need to upgrade. We need to think, well, actually, I've been in burnout quite a few times this year. Like, how can I improve that? How can I move forwards with that? So that's, and how you can manifest that going forwards, because we need to. So good keynote is restarting doesn't mean starting from scratch. You're starting from experience, from growth, because once you've reached that burnout, you might have had a bit of a breakdown, you might have just had a mini little episode or feeling that little bit of a way. But I do, as I get older, I evolve, and it makes me grow, it makes me look at things. And I think I had a conversation with my cousin yesterday, and we had a little bit of a heart-to-heart, and we were just talking about life and, you know, how she's going through chemotherapy at the minute, and, you know, she said, I'm never going to be the same person, I'm never going to be that old person, and she's not, because she's gone through so much. She's always going to be worrying, and when she comes to the end of the treatment and, you know, starting her life again and her work and having to nurture and look after her body, and I said, like, it's happened for a reason, for you to maybe reflect on this now, on your health and everything going forward, and being mindful and being present in your life. And it makes sometimes things in life shock us, and they make us think, wow, like, we need to really, our health's really important, and we need to sometimes, like, just think, right, we need to just find the way forward now and just build on the foundations that we've already got, because whether it's your fitness or your mindset, you know, them type of goals, you already know more than you did the first time. So it's like building on that. So we know the fundamentals, we know what's going on, we've got everything wrote down. If you listen to a podcast for so long, you'd have gone through loads of strategies, and if you're not, just go and binge a load of old ones. And progress isn't linear, and neither is healing. So you're going to be up and down. It's, you know, you can have peaks and troughs, and it's very undulating when you're like this, because we're hormonal, you might be perimenopause, menopausal. You're in this prime line. 43 next week. I'm going to start this next couple of years. For me, I know I'm going to have changed. My hormones, it's going to change. I can feel my hormones all the time. They can be up and down, and men don't get that, because, like, you'll say, I don't get you. Oh, you've got a bit snappy today. I'm like, just ignore me. It's like nothing. I'm just a bit hormonal. I feel angry and I don't know why. And he's like, oh, why? What's happening? I'm like, it's hormones. You don't understand. You don't, males don't get it, because they don't have periods and they don't have them fluctuating hormonal feelings. He's very, like, linear, my husband, and I just love to be like that all the time, because I think us women take on far too much. We take on the load. The great thing is I have let him do a lot more, because he, at the minute, he only works weekends. So it's great to let go, let him do things. And I'm like, oh, well, you do this day, you can do the school ones, which is absolutely fine. He's doing that. But yeah, and that's the great thing is I don't reach burnout, because he's helping me where my mum would help me. But my mum's had a lot going on, and she's still grieving for her mum, and my mum's in a lot of pain with fibro and arthritis. I don't want to put things on other people. I just like to get on with things. So it's just seeing how, you know, the water lies, and asking for help and outsourcing, and don't be afraid to ask other parents at school and mums, and we all help each other at, you know, our specialist school. We all say, what can we do? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? Because we need to talk, especially if you're a carer as well. And, you know, you are not alone. Like, sure, if you want to message me, send me a voice note, do it anonymous, put it on my website. You can send voice notes, or just put it in the comments, you know, share with me, like, what are you struggling with, you know, because it's nice that other people can hear other people's stories, and we're all the same. We all go through the same things, because we're all busy mums, and we all go through different. You might have just gone back to work after maternity, and you might be absolutely so overwhelmed. And I say this so much, it's so scary for people having to leave your child and think about having to now you've gone from going to work, then having to go to, like, drop your children off in the morning, pick them up at night, hardly spending time with them. You're reaching over, you've not done your housework, you've not done this, you've not prepped any meals, you've not had any relationship time with your partner. There's so many variables to think about. I could go on all day about it, but it's just talking. I think communication is key if you are in a relationship, and express burnout to your partner, because if you don't, they don't get it. Men don't get it. They can't. I think that, you know, my husband can read my mind, but he can't. So I have to say, he's like, what's wrong? I'm like, I'm missing my nan today. I'm feeling a bit like this. I feel like I want to cry. And he's like, I'll just cry. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't want my son to see me crying. But it's burnout. I think the grief is still there for me, and I think it keeps coming up and down, but I'm just trying to keep going forwards with that, because I just need to, manifesting is helping me so much. Honestly, I always go on about it, but it's helping me because I'm excited. Manifesting excites me. The future excites me, and I just think I've got to focus on the future and and there's a lot of people going through so much at the minute, within everybody's families, and it's really hard to not take that on as well. But we just need to, like when you're in burnout, you're not going to be in it forever, and you might experience burnout quite a lot. You might have some mental health challenges, but just sit with them, accept them, talk to me. You can message me. That's what I do. I'm a life coach as well, and I work with people online on Zoom, and just talking to somebody is like the biggest thing, and going through a plan. And I obviously go through a lot of things when I work with people, and we end up going on to business, and people might be burnt out because they're fed up with the job and they want to create a different business. And that's what I help with. Like, what can you do? What are transferable skills? What can I? And you want to talk about manifesting or setting up a new business with people. They're like, you made me really excited about my life again. And that straight away, there's not thinking about burnout, they're thinking about the future. And that's why we start looking at goal setting again and that manifesting. So daily manifesting, it does work. I always say, every day you've got to do the manifesting. You've got to put the work in. You've got to raise your vibrations to be ready to receive. Because if we're not open to receiving, you're going to be in the same position all the time. You're going to feel wiped out, shattered. Nothing will ever change. And if we completely complain about it all the time, nothing moves as well. And I've learned that in the past. I don't complain about things now, because a lot of people are going through a lot worse than I am. And I am aware of that. So it's just being grateful and being present in the moment. So a little affirmation, and these will be good to make some up for yourself, and voice note them and listen back to them. Put them on like your fridge, wherever you go. Make some manifestations. So I give myself permission to rest, to reset, and to rise again. I am worthy even when I pause. So I'll do that again. I give myself permission to rest, to reset, and to rise again. I am worthy even when I pause. And I hope that just, if that resonated with you, it might not have done. It probably won't resonate with me in a month, because I'll be like, I'm not burnt out, I'm fine, I'm like back to normal. So it'll always give me permission to go back to my own episode and listen to my own self-talking, because my bits of pockets of burnout in my head are because I haven't, like when you've got like your week planned out, something can happen. Like, you could have a family member in hospital, someone could break their leg, somebody could trap their finger in a door. There's always something that happens, and you haven't put it into your week. So of course you're going to get burnt out. Something happens. If you're juggling plates, which we all do, we can all juggle better than others, and that's not a bad thing either. But when you start manifesting, once you've read my book as well, there's so many strategies in there. If you are new to manifesting, it's on Kindle. So if you've got Kindle Plus, you get it for free, and it's only $2.29, so you can read it on your phone, and you can print any of the activities off. And it kind of like gets you started in my book. So I'll put a link in the link tree, because I know I've had some new listeners. So I'll put the link for the book for Amazon in the show notes. And if you're not following me on social media, come and follow me on Instagram at Busy Mums Fitness Corner, and TikTok, and I'm on Facebook. You can come and give me a follow. Please send me a message if you want to share your story, anything. Just don't be afraid. I want to hear your story as well. This is your podcast as well, not just mine. And it's great that you are tuning in every week and listening to this. That I'm grateful for that as well. So I hope you have a great week, whenever you're listening to this. And yeah, just be mindful. I would say have some rest, have some sleep, be a bit naughty, have a Netflix day, go and have some snacks, go and book a massage, whatever you can afford to do. Go and do it. Send me a picture and tag, I'd love you to tag this as well, this podcast on your socials, and I'll reshare it as well. So anyway, have a great day, and I will speak to you all soon. Bye for now. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I hope you feel inspired to take action and manifest the life you deserve. Don't forget to come and join me over on social media and Instagram at Busy Mums Fitness Corner for more tips, motivation and behind the scenes. And also be sure to check out my books on Amazon. They're designed to help you manifest your dreams and grow. And if you're ready to take the next step and work with me, you can head over to my link tree for all the details. Let's make magic happen together. So until next time, keep manifesting and stay amazing.